My name's Daniel Miller and I am the chairman and founder of Mute Records. Well, these days most of the work I do in the studio is A&R related rather than hands-on mixing. I work very closely with the artists, producers, mixers, engineers. I like to get, to help people kind of reach their objectives as quickly as possible in a kind of as most musical way that I can. Most of the work I do is with producers and mixers, and they pretty much all use UAD plugins. They all have their favourites. The Neve, SSL, copies. Pretty much everybody uses. A lot of the delays, the space echo, I love particularly because as you see over there's a space echo. But what's more important than comparing to the originals, to me, that's secondary. To be honest, I think the primary function of them is to help us achieve the results that we want to achieve. And I think if it sounds like the original or not, for me that's not the issue. The issue is it right for the project? Does it help us get where we want to go in a really top quality way? That's what I'm most interested in, really, is making sure that the creative process is as smooth as possible and people aren't spending hours plugging in things and unplugging and changing dodgy leads and everything like that. And of course there are a lot of plugins, but I think the UAD ones stand out, and that it's going to, whichever flavour they're looking for or we're looking for together, they can find a plugin, the UAD plugin, that will help us achieve that. My advice to anybody who wants to work in music is only do it if you have a real passion for it, because it's on the surface, from the outside world, there's a little kind of thin layer of glamour for about 1% of the people involved. The rest of it is a lot of very hard work. So that's for anybody, whether you're a musician, you want to start a label, you're a producer, you're an engineer, whatever you do in the music business, you have to be absolutely 100% passionate. You've got to put your life to one side, to be honest, for most of the time. If you're prepared to do that, that's a good start. If you want to be an engineer or producer, the best way of learning is to try and work with experienced people and learn from them. It's obviously changed completely since the days when I started. I'm giving this advice. I was completely self-taught in the first place. I had no studio experience whatsoever when I made my first single. But as time went on and I started to work with more and more producers, I learned a hell of a lot that really helped me improve my work. So that's very important. Try and work with people who you like. Listen to records, listen to a lot of records, whether they're good records or bad records. Listen to them, figure out what you think is good about them, figure out what you think is bad about them, or what you like about them, what you don't like about them, from every perspective, from a song point of view, from a vocals, from the overall mix, the perspectives, everything. Figure out what you like. I think that's really important. It's easy to dive in and just muck around. If you have a clear vision of the things that you like, I know that sounds really obvious, but not a lot. I think it's important to listen to a lot of records and figure that one out, and then practice and try and find people when you're starting out. Nobody's going to hire you from day one. If you want to produce a record or mix a record, find so many people are making music now. Find a mate, find somebody, go join a blog, join a forum, say, I'll mix your record, give us a chance, see what you think. It's just a lot of listening, a lot of working, try and find people who are good to work with if you can.